The framing of this question is interesting because it asks voters and respondents to talk about anger. And anger will reflect a strong desire to change or not change. So let me take you through the responses to this question. And we look first at the pan Maharashtra figures, right? So when this question was asked across the state, 51% said they are angry and they want change. That's a very clear indicator, which came from 51% of the respondents in this sample. 41% said they are not angry and they don't want change, so a 10% gap there. This one becomes significant because 51% saying they are angry and they want change. It's not a specific question about voting intention, but if you're angry and you want change, it gives you a sense of how respondents in the sample looked at this question. What we'll do next is to break this question into the different regions of Maharashtra. Remember, Maharashtra is not one state. It's the combination of 6 different regions that make up the bigger picture for Maharashtra. And in this, let's now take you through how different regions view this question. So the level of anger is highest according to our poll in Western Maharashtra. Then came Northern Maharashtra. The level of anger high also in Marathwada. Then in Vidarbha. The level of anger lowest in Konkan relative to the other regions of Maharashtra. So this is on the question of anger. Then where are people relatively more agreeable to the way this government is going? Not angry, don't want change. 36% in Western Maharashtra, 40% in Northern Maharashtra, 43% in Vidarbha, and so on. So clearly the level of anger highest in Western Maharashtra, followed by Marathwada, and then Northern Maharashtra. That's the first data set that we have. I want to come to the next question on our screen now, and once again I'll take the pan Maharashtra figures and then we'll break this by region. How do you rate the development work done by this state government? Here, 53% say good, 23% are saying poor, 22% are saying average. This is the pan Maharashtra figure. So a bit of confusion there. They were angry, 51% they wanted change, but 53% are also saying that the development work done by the state government is good. Let's now break this question up into the different regions of Maharashtra. When the same question is asked to the different regions, so the level of happiness with the performance of the Maharashtra government seems to be highest in Vidarbha at 56%, followed by Marathwada at 54%, and then Konkan and North Maharashtra. The level of unhappiness with the state government, poor, not average but poor, highest in Marathwada, followed by Konkan, and followed by Western Maharashtra. Now, if I completely disassociated any of my own opinion from this data and just looked at the data itself, it would suggest that the voters in Maharashtra seem quite confused. 51% saying they're angry and they want to change the state government, and yet at the same time 52.5% saying that they think that the government has actually done a good job. Manisha Prem, you're a political analyst, you do a lot of quantitative data work yourself. When you look at these contradictory impulses, people saying they're angry and they want to stay in the state government, but kaam acha kiya hai, 52.5. If you were to study this data and arrive at some conclusion, what would that conclusion be?
That conclusion will be that this is inconclusive data about voter mood. They are clearly conflicted. Sometimes when you have an outer veneer, lots of things are being said against the government, then you want to be on that side also. But when you pin them down on actual performance, then they have to concede. Now this really shows that there is a situation where there is a mind that wants to be with the voice that says, oh, we are conflicted and we think we want a change. But when you ask them that, okay, has development happened, which should largely, by and large, mean that have the goods of development, or has public service provisioning improved, or have you received it? They are unable to say, no, we are really angry and we have not received this. So how strong is that data? I mean, that data is really telling you that on the performance itself, the basic premises of anti-incumbency do not seem to be that robust. So if the angers are there, they may be for reasons and grounds other than non-performance or welfare goods not reaching people.
That's a very important point that Manisha Priya makes, that there may seem to be anger in the data, but that anger doesn't have to do with the work the state government has done. It could have to do with other factors. For example, there have been parties that have been split, alliances that have been built. The Maharashtra Lok Sabha results tended to suggest that voters weren't very happy with that. Rajat Sethi, you do some polling yourself. Does this alarm you that 51% of the respondents say they're angry and they want change? Now, if I were to look at that data, and if you were looking at the data from a BJP perspective, you say, oh boy, that's a very high level of anger there.
See, I sort of agree and sort of disagree with the interpretation at times when you ask a leading question, and a leading question, enters into a realm wherein you will see respondents answering to you what you would want to hear. So, how the question is framed, and Yashwantji will be able to do a better job explaining how this question was asked to the respondents. But if this is the anger, if we take it at the face value, BJP will certainly have to go out and convince the masses that, they have done enough, they have delivered on multiple levels. The development work, which was totally stalled under the Aghadi, they have been able to kickstart and do that work, and that has only been possible because you have a government which has the right intentions to do development.
Sahil, does this correspond with what you're picking up from across the state? That people seem happy with the development work done by the state government, 52.5% saying it's been good, and yet there is anger and a desire for change. Those two contradictory impulses playing out together in the battlefield of Maharashtra.
Well, Rahul, development as a concept is very relative for any kind of a voter. It's kind of a continuous process, and it doesn't change much from government to government, because if there is a metro construction going on, it will not happen anymore now that a new government will stop the complete metro work and will not do the metro work at all. Or if there is a big highway like Samruddhi Expressway is being built by an earlier government, it won't happen like this, that the way it happened in Andhra Pradesh, that suddenly they stopped the work of a new capital, Amravati. That is not going to happen in Maharashtra. That they know. I mean, even earlier, 1995, the Mumbai-Pune Expressway, the work started by the Shiv Sena BJP government, continued by the Congress NCP government, which came in 1999. So its development is a very relative and continuous process. Now, the anger which is coming up, which I could definitely see, is that even I was looking at the data, region-wise, everybody is reacting in a different way. And that clearly shows that the fight in Maharashtra is going to be different at different levels and different regions as well. So there has to be some kind of a local reason. Say, for an example, if you're going to Nasik, the farmers, the onion producers are not happy with the way the government stopped the export of the onion at the crucial time when they were actually needing it. And that's why they're angry. They're saying, okay, there is a good development, but yes, I don't want this government. Or maybe if you go to Marathwada and some part of Vidarbha, the soybean farmers may say that we are not getting the expected price what we were looking at, and they express their anger in Lok Sabha. The Maratha community who wants to be part of OBC actually, to get the Kunbi certificates in OBC, they are saying that the government has promised us, and specifically BJP may not be happy with that. And some people, as Manisha Priyam was expressing, may be not happy with the way the politics suddenly changed in Maharashtra. The parties were broken. But at the same time, it also shows one thing very clearly. I mean, what we are picking up from down is that every party has a chance at this point of time. It's not something that people have decided their mind.
You make an important point. I want to put that to Sanjay Jha. If we were to look at this from the lens of the Mahavikas Aghadi, 51% wanting change suggests that there is a desire for change, but just a little bit more than the majority mark. If this was, say, late 60s, early 70s, you would say the MVA is comfortably placed. If it's just 51%, then it comes down to who's able to mobilize his voters, run a better campaign, get their supporters out on polling day. And as Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Haryana have shown, when it comes to that element of the election process, the BJP and the Mahayuti would believe that they have the advantage, that this level of anti-incumbency they can deal with and pull more voters out on polling day.
Well, Rahul, I'm not surprised that, we are finding that the data is in conflict or is confounding. simply because there are compelling social economic factors that help a voter decide which party to vote for or which alliance to support. On the other hand, there are many psychological, emotional, all kinds of sentimental factors that also come into play. Now, if you look at the CSDS surveys, I was looking at their data because a lot of people trust the credibility of that information. If you look at their principal 4-5 factors, unemployment at 24%, inflation at 22%, and then you have agriculture, infrastructure, and development. Between these 5, they say that 70% of the issues that are bothering the people are therefore related to the economic existence that they go through on a day-to-day basis.
But the same was the case in Haryana, where the level of anti-incumbency and unhappiness was the government was even higher than what we're seeing in the data for Maharashtra, and yet you lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here is the point, which is why I'm coming down to what I believe is going to be the subterranean factors that a lot of people are not going to express unless you ask them, which is, are people in Maharashtra, particularly those people who have been part of the erstwhile Shiv Sena, how they're reacting to the entire process by which the Uddhav Shiv Sena was really, frankly speaking, knocked out, the way they were, truncated, and the entire Operation Kamal. Is that a hurt that a lot of people believe is the reason why Aditya Thackeray is going to town talking about the Gaddari of the Shinde Shiv Sena?
Okay.
The other factor is going to be a very critical play, is going to be about the shifting of businesses from Mumbai and different parts of Maharashtra to Gujarat, where...
So those are the issues you want to raise. Are those
momentum.
issues that viewers and respondents in the survey think are important to them?